2016.
In the Middle East, Israel's Prime Minister has sacked his finance and justice ministers, triggering fresh elections for the Jewish state. Benjamin Netanyahu accused the pair of undermining his administration and says the polls are needed to give him a clear mandate to lead Israel.
The writing had been on the wall for a while, but the last straw came last month when two members of Israel's coalition government voted against a proposed bill that would enshrine the Jewish nature of Israel into law. Many had criticized the bill as going against Israel's democratic nature because it was seen as defining Israeli Jews at the expense of minority groups, like the country's Arab citizens. The act of defiance from the two cabinet members signaled their unhappiness with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And last night, Netanyahu said enough was enough and fired the pair, Israel's justice and finance ministers, members of more centrist parties, which have been in an uneasy coalition with the right-wing Likud party. He said he could not tolerate the disloyalty shown by Tzipi Livni and Yair Lapid. In one word, that is called putsch, and that makes it impossible to run a government, and that makes it impossible to lead a country, said Netanyahu. He then called for fresh elections. Israeli lawmakers voted today to hold the polls on March 17th, roughly 2 years ahead of schedule. Some welcomed Netanyahu's decision, but others weren't so sure.
I think that we don't need elections, and they are quarreling about small things and insignificant things, and made us pay for such a big amount of money that can be used for important things.
Much of the infighting has revolved around Israel's tortured relationship with the Palestinians and whether to continue with a hardline stance, as has been the case under Netanyahu and Likud, or to look for new ways to reconcile the two sides. In France, lawmakers voted in favour of a non-binding motion urging their government to recognise Palestine, a symbolic move that could demonstrate growing European impatience with a stalled peace process. And Jordan's UN envoy said she will try to get the Security Council to agree on a resolution before Christmas to press for a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict.
And still to come in our news tonight. Hong Kong shivering through a cold spell.
Every hot spot is an ember that, if not contained, can become a new fire. So we cannot let down our guard even for a minute. And we can't just fight this epidemic, we have to extinguish it.
Barack Obama seeking more money to fight Ebola. And saying goodbye to Australia cricket star Philip Hughes.
Introducing Turbo Down from Columbia Sportswear.